you so much to Chairman Dawkins, Chairman Grove, the members of the committee for considering House Bill 926 before the Labor and Industry Committee today, a bill that would create Pennsylvania's first Healthcare Workplace Violence Prevention Act. My colleague, Rep. Kozarowski, and I have introduced a version of this bill every session since 2019, but unfortunately it is more urgent than ever. On February 22nd, 2025, a tragic shooting unfolded at UPMC Memorial Hospital in York, PA, just 20 miles from here. A gunman entered the hospital's ICU armed with a semi-automatic pistol and zip ties. He took 4 hostages, including a doctor, a nurse, a custodian, and another staff member. During the incident, he opened fire, injuring 5 people. Sadly, West York Borough Police Officer Durante was killed in the line of duty. The attack ended when the gunman was fatally shot by police. While truly tragic, this is not the only recent incidence of workplace violence impacting a healthcare worker. In Delaware County last June, an EMT employed by Krueger Chester Medical Center in my district was brutally attacked by a patient who grabbed her hair, slammed her head onto the ambulance floor, and tried to strangle her. Her partner intervened to save her and also sustained injuries. She suffered a concussion, neck pain, right shoulder pain, and significant bruises. These are only 2 of the many stories that are before us today. I've been working with the nurses, paramedics, and other frontline healthcare workers at Krueger for years in an attempt to prevent incidents like these from happening in the first place. Violence occurring in the workplace is more prevalent in the healthcare industry than in any other industry. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, healthcare workers accounted for 73% of all non-fatal workplace injuries and illnesses due to violence in 2018 alone, which is the most recent year for which these statistics are available. 66% of members of the Pennsylvania Association of Nurses and Allied Professionals responded to a 2024 internal survey and said that they have personally experienced violence in their workplace. That is up from 50% in 2021. 72% of respondents said their hospital or facility does not do a good job of protecting them from workplace violence. Before this meeting, the voting members should have received a packet of other personal stories from frontline healthcare workers about horrific incidents they experienced on the ground here in Pennsylvania. You've also received letters of support from 3 different organizations that represent tens of thousands of nurses here in Pennsylvania, both union and non-union organizations. Thank you to PASNAP, SEIU Healthcare, and PSNA for weighing in on this bill. You may also have received 2 letters of opposition. So let me address some of the misinformation in those letters. First, there are currently no required standards or processes to address healthcare workplace violence in Pennsylvania. There are recommendations from OSHA for workplace violence prevention programs, but they are voluntary. Hospitals do and can choose to ignore them. This bill takes the essential recommendations from OSHA and enshrines them in state law. Second, this bill does not determine which actions or preventions a hospital should take. It simply requires healthcare facilities to give the frontline healthcare workers a seat at the table, analyze the workplace violence risks in that facility, and come up with a plan to prevent them. At least 10 other states have passed legislation requiring facilities to establish committees and produce prevention plans, including a brand new law signed by Ohio's governor in January to require hospitals to establish a security plan for preventing workplace violence and managing aggressive behaviors, along with a workplace violence incident reporting system. This is a bipartisan issue. Republicans and Democratic members have introduced various pieces of legislation on this topic dating back to 2011. We have a chance today to do something that has worked in other states. We have a chance to listen to what the nurses on the front line are asking us to do. We have the chance to take action to make sure the tragedy at UPMC Memorial Hospital in York doesn't happen again in another community. Please vote yes on House Bill 926 today.